What is the toughest call a coach ever has to make? Some may say it's preparing to fight. Others may say it's cornering a fighter who could unsee because they've even smashed in the face so many times. But none of those are as difficult as this one. When your fighter is getting obliterated in front of you, and there is no hope of them winning the fight, do you throw in the towel? In today's video, we break down why sometimes the hardest thing a coach can do is to throw in the towel and save their fighter. If you think you have what it takes to be a great MMA coach, then show some respect for the craft. Hit that like button and subscribe for future videos just like this. Every coach has their own style. Some are boisterous and animated. Others prefer to keep things simple and relaxed. Some talk strategy and technical adjustments between rounds. Others don't say a word until after the fight is over. But regardless of style or personality, all coaches share one common goal: to protect their fighters. That is why they become coaches in the first place. When most people think about being a coach, they picture the good times, standing in the center of the cage after a victory, raising their fighter's hand in the air. They picture the beautiful technical stand-up exchanges and the perfectly timed submissions. But coaching isn't always pretty, and the truth is that sometimes you have to make very difficult decisions to protect your fighter. A few years ago, I worked with a young, up-and-coming lightweight prospect. He was undefeated and looked like he was going to be a star, and he drew a tough opponent, a veteran who had been in the game for a long time. The two were very evenly matched, but my fighter was faster and more athletic. If he could just dictate the pace and stay away from the veteran's dangerous submissions, he would win the fight easily. As the fight progressed, it became obvious that my game plan was working. My fighter was outlanding his opponent. And by the third round, he had a significant advantage on the scorecards. But this is where things took a turn for the worst. My fighter, despite my instructions, started to engage with the veteran. He started to trade and look for the knockout instead of picking up the pace and pulling away with the fight. I tried to stop him, but it was too late. The veteran caught him with a knee and dropped him. And when he came back to his feet, the veteran smashed him with a right hand that put him back down. I immediately jumped up in the corner and threw in the towel. It was the hardest thing I have ever had to do in my career. It was only later that I learned that he felt I had let him down. I didn't let him finish the fight. I didn't give him a chance to prove himself. But the truth was that he wasn't listening to me. He had tunnel vision and was looking for the knockout. But I knew if he didn't stop, he would get hurt badly. And despite him being ahead on points, the reality was that if he got knocked out, he would lose the fight. I threw in the towel to save my fighter from a knockout loss. And even though he was disappointed, I knew I had made the right decision. Now, this is an extreme example, but the truth is that sometimes coaches have to throw in the towel even when their fighter still has a chance to win. This is especially true in boxing. Have you ever seen a boxer get smashed in the face so many times that they cut and see? Their eyes are swollen shut. You can barely see the ref, let alone their opponent. There are so many punches that they're just trying to cover up. And every time they do, they eat another solid shot. That is a dangerous position to be in. And as their coach, you have to decide whether they should continue or not. Legendary trainer Freddie Roach has had to make this call many times throughout his illustrious career. For a coach, it's never easy to throw in the towel, but sometimes it's necessary to protect your fighter. Roach explained it best when he said, "It's an act of love. You have to protect your fighter. Sometimes you have to throw in the towel, but it's not because you think they can't win. It's just that you do and want them to get hurt any worse than they already are." But what about the other side of the coin? What if your fighter has a chance to win the fight, but they're exhausted and have nothing left? Should you still throw in the towel? The answer is yes. There are certain situations where throwing in the towel is the best option, even if your fighter has a chance to win. Take the case of a fighter who steps into the cage with a game plan and does everything right. He dictates the pace, avoids his opponent's attacks, and comes out on top after 3 hard-fought rounds. The judges raise his hand and declare him the winner. But during the fight, he took a lot of unnecessary damage. He has a black eye and a split eyebrow that's constantly bleeding. His face is swollen and he's exhausted. Throwing in the towel might have cost him the fight, but it could have also saved him from a world of pain and suffering. Being a coach isn't about winning or losing. It's about helping your fighter reach their full potential while keeping them safe. Sometimes that means having the courage to throw in the towel and end the fight early, even if your fighter has a chance to win. In these situations, it's not about giving up. It's about knowing when enough is enough. It's about recognizing that your fighter has given everything they have and that continuing the fight would be pointless. Not a sign of defeat, but rather an act of love and respect for their hard work and dedication. Great coaches understand that a fighter's health and well-being is more important than any belt or championship. By throwing in the towel at the right time, coaches can help their fighters recover fully and come back stronger for their next fight. Ultimately, being a coach isn't just about winning championships. It's about developing well-rounded individuals who are prepared for anything life throws their way. Throwing in the towel when it's the right thing to do is part of that process. It's a difficult decision, but one that ultimately helps the fighter grow and mature, not just as an athlete, but as a person as well. In the end, it's not the victories or the defeats that truly matter. It's the character and resilience that are built along the way. So the next time you in the corner of a fighter and the decision needs to be made, remember that the hardest thing a coach can do is to throw in the towel. But sometimes it's an act of love that can save a fighter's life. And that was the last thing your coach ever told me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out our other videos. We have a ton of great content for you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.